yet, not yet, not yet. Oh, you are live. Brothers and sisters, we are live. If you're out there, anybody's out there in big and rich land and you're making comments, please let me know where you're from. Like to give us a minute to get things cranking up here. And boom, see some eyeballs, come to the showtime. There we go. Number one, coming on in. Bam, pow, from all over the place. 436. Yeah. Celeste Argo. Man, Daniel Cobb, Williamston, North Carolina. Kai Thorson, Minnesota. Yeah, bring them on. Good day from Australia. Yes, we're going around the world. Bringing it on. Spokane, Washington, Connecticut. Hello from Arizona. Oh, man. Hey, how y'all doing? Leah. Oh, golly. Angie. Michelle, Josiah, PV Janet Townsend, Bonnie Shay. Wow. Boy, this is awesome. Hello, everybody. Yeah. Welcome to Peace, Love, and Happy Hour. So excited to see everyone here. And boy, have we got an exciting night ahead of us. Man, how cool to just be able to, pop online like this and hang out with a bunch of friends and, just have a little time together on a Saturday night, sharing the good word, sharing the peace, sharing the love, and sharing the happy hour from right here at the Pub of Love. We put this place together here, just like most houses. You walk into and there's a dining room on the left and there's a living room on the right. But, when I walked into most houses, I'm thinking, okay, the dining room, well, that would make a great little pub, great place for people to get together. And I remember that David Frizzell song there from back in the day. Said, I'm going to hire a wino, and he will decorate our home so you'll feel more at ease here. You won't need to roam. We take out the dining room table and put a bar along that wall with a neon sign that points away to the bathroom down the hall. And I got to show it to you, but there's a neon sign right there, points away. So here's to everybody having a little good time inside of their homes, however they're doing it here tonight, wherever you're gathering from. Here's the most perfect way for us all to still be able to social distance and come together at the same time. Wow. I don't know what it was about this week, but it kind of made me think of this song right here. And this is one from way back in the day. And, here on these Peace, Love, and Happy Hours on Saturday nights, we might pull out songs from way back in the day, but it's just one that's just kind of made me think of something here. Tell me, brothers, sisters, do you listen when it rains? Is this gonna do that all today? Is there anything that you would wish that you had said? Or is it all just bouncing like a bubble in your head? Run till you're far away. Run till you're far away. 'Cause if you want to blow my mind, it's time for you to start the show. If you want to blow my mind, it's time for you to let it show. Say boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom. Hey, boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom. Hey, heart's a motor bigger than a supernova train. Shame it's got to deal with all the demons in your brain. Tell me when you're ready, we can kiss and say goodbye. Or if you want to, me and a few friends are gonna fly. Say run till you're far away. Run till you're far away. 'Cause if you want to blow my mind, it's time for you to start the show. If you want to blow my mind, it's time for you to let it go. Say boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom. Hey, boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom. Say boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom. Hey, boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom boom da-da-da-da boom. Hey, Yeah, start the show. There you go. Just something to kind of stir it up and start the show up. And man, have we got a show here tonight. I cannot believe it, brothers and sisters. But John Oates, officially of Hall and Oates, is with me here tonight. John Oates, the man. Believe it or not, he has moved here to Music City, USA, and we will be reaching out based on the interweb and the broadband here tonight to keep everything totally safe and in a good check. So I know everybody out there has been being careful. This week is another crazy time, but in the midst of all this, it sure is good to have a little peace, love, and happy hour come up and get to hang out with some friends. And I'm so excited to have Brother John Oates here with me tonight. And I think we have him connected out there in the web verse. And let's see if we can bring him on. Oh, help
Hi.
me out, everybody, to make some noise for Brother John Oates. Yeah, yeah.
Well, hi neighbor, how you
How you
doing?
doing, man?
We maybe we should tell the
Hold on a
world.
second. I've got a wire come undone. We're gonna put it back together here in this
Maybe
great technology. Bring it on. I did it.
so, so so man, we are reaching out to the world, but we're a quarter of a mile apart, you and I. I mean, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it beats us, having sitting together and having to wear a face mask,
That's
where we
right.
can,
That's right.
be sitting like this
That's right.
and just be sharing a good time in our homes. But man,
Yeah.
it is kind of crazy. I mean, that there's been a lot of technology that's gone on since back in the day. Like back in the day, that would have been, for me, it's
It,
been like since I came to Nashville that I even saw people had computers and everybody was hooked up and things were going down and now as we were talking earlier, it's like you can almost with a phone and a computer and a microphone or something almost produce and make a TV show like
like you're doing.
right in your dining room. And here we are.
I tell you, man, I've been writing songs with people from California and New York, and recording with different people in different parts of the world. It's pretty amazing. I mean, in a very challenging time. I mean, in terms of that, at least trying to keep the creative flow going.
Yeah, man. Well, it sure looks like you've been doing it. I was just looking at your Instagram, and y'all were wearing masks, but working on a project in the studio. So you're evidently, I mean, you've got it. I mean, hits deep, deep, deep. You are his, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. I don't know if you know this here or not, but we are looking at history deep in hits here, and producing songs and writing songs and playing songs and guitar playing and just talent after talent after talent. So there's a new project that you were working on here recently, just on another song, another artist, right?
Yeah, well, actually, my wife Amy discovered a young guy from South Carolina on Instagram, believe it or not, and heard this thing he was doing, and it really was cool. And I had this. I was working on a movie. There's a new movie coming out called Gringa. It's a great story about this young girl who goes to find her father in Mexico, and this song just seemed to work. And I got with the guy, and he came up to Nashville, do some vocals, and we're producing the track, and hopefully it'll be in the movie. And it's good things are happening then on that front, so it's cool.
How cool is that? That's
Yeah,
just fantastic.
yeah.
So we're gonna talk a lot about music here tonight, and go back and give a little about it, give people a little bit of your history and your everything that's going on right now. But I
Sure.
tell you what, I don't know if I can wait any longer to hear you play a song. I mean,
Oh boy.
I got a little taste of it earlier, sound checked him, but brothers and sisters, this man's just
Well,
got some skill set in the
you
song
know, you know,
world
you
that blows my mind.
you and Christiev were so kind to bring over some swag and set it on the front porch there. Um, and you know what? When I come down to your place, which is I could walk down to your place, I'm
Yeah,
bringing you an Oats mug.
I'm
You
getting
get
it.
an Oats mug,
All
and you
right,
get an Oats hat to go,
nice.
to go with Peace and Love and Happy Hour
There
hat.
we go. There we go. There we go. We're bringing it together here. We're bringing it
Uh,
together. Yes, can't
so
get no better than that.
yeah, man. So should I do? I'll do a little tune.
Anything you want to play, brother? Love to hear it.
keeping the peace, love, and happy hour theme going. This song it's an old R&B song, but it's about universal love, and it's called "Please Send Me Somebody to Love." Heaven, please send all mankind understanding and peace in mind. If it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love, someone to love. Show the world how to get along. Peace will enter when hate is gone. If it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. They wait nights and watch the world in trouble. My answer's always the same. Yes, man, put an end to this damnable sin. Hate is gonna put the world into flames. What a shame, just because I'm in misery. I don't beg for no sympathy. If it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love, someone to love. I said, please send me someone to love.
Wow. That's awesome. How sweet. How sweet. What a great song. What a great song, man.
Percy Mayfield. That's one of my old favorites for sure.
Yeah. What year was that?
That would have been in the '60s, probably mid '60s, maybe late '60s.
Yeah. So you got a lot of history of like you were following the guitar songs of that age, the blues songs of that
Oh
age,
yeah,
the
yes.
ragtime of that age. You were
All that
following all of that stuff,
You know,
right?
I'll tell you, man, in Philadelphia in the '60s, they had obviously everybody knows Philly and the R&B thing and Gamble and Huff and the great R&B tradition of Philadelphia. But Philadelphia had an incredible folk tradition with the Philadelphia Folk Festival and these great coffee houses where all the newly, the kind of rediscovered bluesmen and folk performers would
Yeah.
come to Philadelphia. And I was right in the middle of it, as a kid right out of high school. And I got to see all this stuff happening live. And so it really it made me, kind of who I am, and when I came to Nashville, I got a chance to play with a lot of the great Americana players here in town and the roots players. And they kind of helped me kind of go back to that early stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. So you've actually made a couple records out of Nashville
Oh yeah.
already then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean you come here and you got you feel that same inspiration you felt in Philadelphia in the early years, right? I mean, it's just some of the best everywhere you turn. I mean, you can't
That's
help but
right.
be inspired, right?
That's right. With this great music community to just, to make your ideas come alive, right?
Yeah.
These incredible players, and when I first came to town, I have to say I did a session with a bunch of guys and I went, hey man, hold on. The bar is set way up here. And I said, I better start practicing because I think I was coasting for a while. And I started practicing because I realized the players were just so damn good. And it was inspiring and challenging all at the
Yeah.
same time. Yeah.
Well, after just hearing you sitting here watching you play that last song that you played, I'm just thinking to myself like, Kenny, my God, you need to get up tomorrow and go practice some more, son. I'm telling you, whoo-wee. Wow. When did you start playing guitar?
Oh
When,
man,
when did you get your first guitar? Did I read it was early, right?
when I was 6. I
Whoa.
started I started taking vocal lessons and guitar lessons at 6 years old. My mom was a bit of a stage mom. You know, she pushed me to do that kind of stuff. And so I was up there, you know, she dressed me up in a little red blazer and she pushed me out there, and I'd have to sing all these old, you know, 5'2" Eyes Are Blue and all these old songs from the 40s and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, but you know, it gave me a kind of a musical foundation that, like, kind of earlier than rock and roll, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of got the same thing, but my mom really wasn't a stage mom, but she started the choir at the New Salem Baptist Church,
Oh, there you go.
the kids choir.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
you know, this was this little choir that my dad and some of the other farmers there in the community, they built this church, right? And then she
Right.
started this choir there. So she had me standing up there, and I wasn't too much about it, really. I got to be honest. It was
Right.
like that was tough for me. It wasn't something
Yeah.
that came easy then. But just remember being in a group of people, how much I loved to hear them all sing together.
Yeah.
I just love that. And
Well,
then
you know, singing in church is you know,
yeah,
that's where Daryl Hall got his chops, man. He sang in church with his mother. His mother was a singer,
yeah. So
and
what do you think it was that you know we're both in duos, man. Have been
that's
in
right.
successful duos. Us not quite as successful as y'all, but we got a few
Well,
more
I
years
don't
to go
know.
yet. We got a couple more years to go yet. Okay,
I
just give
think
us a
you guys,
minute.
I think you guys are doing just fine. I think you guys are doing. You know what?
but
Can I say something real quick though? Big and Rich. You know, when I think back when I first saw you guys for the first time, I thought to myself, now here's some guys who are bringing in a more contemporary thing to country music. You guys had diversity. You had a little bit of that kind of rap thing going,
oh
and
yeah.
nobody else was doing that, man. I
No.
think you guys deserve a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, we were just putting everything into it that we possibly could, and still
Yeah,
to this day. I mean, John's
yeah.
got a whole skill set of talents that I don't, and I got a few that he don't, and you know,
That's
we
how it
just try to
works.
come together and try to make something bigger than ourselves when we're together. And when I go back to my early years and singing, like loving to hear voices sing together, I know I like that. I love to sing myself, but I love hearing other voices, you know,
Sure.
sing with me. That's a
Oh yeah,
beautiful thing.
harmony
Hey,
thing.
so, you know, everybody always asks me, how did me and John meet? Well, how did you and Daryl meet? I mean, I can
It's
tell you how John and I met. Well, this is
yeah.
an interesting one. Two duos, right? This is
That's
crazy.
right. Well,
Yeah,
it's a crazy story. A lot of people would think it's made up, but you can't make it up because it's too crazy. I had a band in high school, and we scraped together enough money to make a single in 1967, the summer of '67, and we made it downtown in Philadelphia at a little recording studio, and we got it out there, and it got played on Philadelphia R&B radio. And at the exact same time, Daryl had a vocal group, and he had a single out at the exact same time. So both of our records were being played on the same radio station at the same time. So
yeah,
I knew about him. He knew about us, and but we hadn't met. So we got invited separately to go to this record hop by a DJ,
yeah,
and it was in a kind of a bad neighborhood in Philadelphia,
yeah.
and we were backstage and waiting to go on. We were going to lip sync our singles, right? And we were standing backstage. I don't know if there's a group from Chicago called the Five Stair Steps.
Yeah.
And there was another guy named Howard Tate. He had a single called "Look at Granny Run Run," which is a really cool song. And we were all standing back there, and a big a gang fight broke out in the crowd. And so Daryl's group and my group, we got in an elevator and we went down to the street level, and we walked out on the street. We said, "We're out of here," and that's how we met. And I eventually joined his group. His group fell apart, and he and I just started hanging out.
Yeah. So it started out in an elevator. Y'all met in an elevator at
Yeah,
a record hop,
that's
and
right.
because of a gang fight. That's just nuts.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. And then you evidently started hanging out enough that y'all started writing together, because
Well,
a
we were
lot of seems like a lot of songs happened right around that time too.
Well, not really, because that was like 67, 68. We actually were friends until 1970, just kind of hanging out. He was doing some studio work. I was working I played in coffee houses and blues band. And then I went to I went to Europe in 1970 after I got out of college, and I sublet my apartment to his sister and her boyfriend. And so I was gone for 4 months. And when I came back, I literally came back to America with a backpack, a guitar, and no money. And I went to
Perfect.
my apartment, and it had a padlock on the door. and because they didn't pay the rent while I was gone. So I literally took my backpack and guitar and walked down a couple blocks to where Daryl was living, and in this little house in downtown Philadelphia. And I knocked on his door. I said, "Hey man, your sister kind of screwed me up here, man. What am I going to do?" He said, "No problem. Just come on in here. You can live here." And so, it was the hippie days,
Yeah. It was perfect, man.
So I moved in upstairs on the third floor where it was a little fold out sofa, and he had his electric piano, and he'd come up there and start playing piano, and I'd grab my guitar, and that's how we started writing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't tell you, like the first years I came here, I got to Nashville in '94, the summer of '94, and we would call them couch tours. And there were buddies who, were between places or whatever and just needed to stay there for a while. And
Yeah.
like everybody went on a couch tour now and again. And, that's really, honestly, just a great and crazy thing, because it's those kind of crazy notions that bring talents together like y'all that create the kind of stuff that ended up happening out of both of our careers, right?
Yeah, you never know how it's going to work, right?
Yeah. So when you think about that time, like we're putting you back in a time of life, what does that make you think of song-wise? And is there another song that you might like to play for us?
I like that. Very
How
smooth.
about that? How about that lead in? Huh?
Very smooth. Very smooth.
Thinking of them?
Well,
Thinking about that time?
yeah, man. I'll tell you, we
How's everybody doing out there? It's Peace, Love, and Happy Hour. Y'all look, it's John Oates. We got John Oates on Peace, Love, and Happy Hour. Woo! Yeah.
Well,
Man, this is awesome. This is so awesome. Hundreds of people out there, thousands of people out there seeing this stuff. It's just crazy, this connection, man. What we got here, we are. We decided we're going to hook it up like this, and then you can hook out there with everybody else, and they're coming from all around the world, dude. And I was seeing y'all got you got a tour coming up in 2021. I'm going to make sure I'm going to find that image and put it up before the show's over.
Yeah. We got one for 21 now, but we had one for 20. But as you know, that wasn't gonna happen.
We both kind of, a lot of people in our situation kind of ran into that this year. But man, count my blessings that I'm sitting here right here tonight, no matter what.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen.
Well, you want me to do one from the early days, right?
Well, yeah. Something, whatever
Well,
you move, whatever that time makes you think of right now, today. So it can be an inspirational moment.
Okay.
Song for you.
Well, then I'm going to do this song that has it's been a signature song, stood the test of time, and you know how it is as a songwriter. You always hope that you can write a song that's going to stand the test of time, right?
There you go, bro.
And I guess this one qualifies on that one. Everybody's high on consolation. Everybody trying to tell me what is right for me. Yeah. My daddy tried to bore me with a sermon. Girl, you know it's plain to see they can't comfort me. Saw the Charlie for an indecision. I believe I got the strength to carry on, I say. Need a drink and a quick decision. Girl, you know it's up to me. I know what will be when she's gone. I better learn how to face it, she's gone. I'll pay the devil to replace her, she's gone. What went wrong? Up in the morning, look in the mirror. Know that I'm a woman as a toothbrush hanging in the stand. In the stand, I say, my face ain't looking any younger. Baby, now I can see love taking her toll lonely. She's gone. I better learn how to face it. She's gone. I pay the devil to replace her. She's gone. Provide what went wrong. Think I'll spend eternity in the city, baby. Let the carbon in the night side choke my thoughts away. All right. Pretty bodies help dissolve memories. Baby, they could never be what she was to me. Oh, yeah. All right, here comes the high part. Well, she's
She's
gone.
gone.
I better learn how to face it. She's gone. I pay the devil to replace her. She's gone. I better learn how to face it. She's gone. I pay the devil to replace her, baby. Better believe that she's, oh, baby, she's gone.
Wow. Dude, that's amazing. So you you just kicked into a whole nother gear. You can hit the high parts, you can hit all the parts,
Well,
man.
I haven't been singing that much, so my voice is okay. I can go.
I
I can
know
get up there
that's
and do that.
one thing I think of every time I go to sit down and play like this in front of people. I'm thinking, oh wow, I haven't necessarily been warming up like I was, you know.
That's right.
So yeah, but you
Hey,
just nailed it.
well, thank you.
You just
There's
nailed it.
nothing like being on the road and being on tour though to get you singing and playing
I
happening.
know. I
Yeah,
know. It's like you have to stay in shape.
yeah.
You really have to stay
You
in
do.
shape physically and vocally physically to do what you're doing
It's
every
yeah.
night.
It's going to be interesting after like a year layoff for all these bands and artists to go back on tour and see what happens. Everybody's going to be like, "Hey, man, I gotta better brush up on this stuff
Yeah.
again."
How are we gonna do this? So you're I gotta mention your dad because this means so much to me. Your father just
Yes,
turned 97.
correct.
So
97 years old.
so we want to say happy birthday to your
Yeah,
pops out there,
well,
man,
thank you.
wherever
That's
he
very
is.
nice.
That's
That's very nice.
amazing.
He's definitely not on the internet. One thing I can guarantee you, but
Somebody will
somebody
show him this.
somebody will record it and show it to him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me about your dad, man. I mean, like, I know it's
Well,
got to be a big deal.
he's a very everybody loves him. Everywhere I go in the country, people will always come up to me. I met your father, man. I played golf with your father, all right? Your dad said, is always he just loved people, and he's just a very gregarious kind of guy, and I think his biggest problem right now is that he's stuck in his room. They won't let him out of his room,
Oh, man.
and he just loves people, and he loves to have a glass of wine, and just sit back, and he loves his sports, and so yeah, he's a good guy, and I can't wait to finally be able to go up and see him. It's been a
Yeah.
while. So
That's, I think, one of the reasons that I'm glad we got to even talk about your daddy here tonight, man, is that I think is the reason why all of us, have to really pay attention to things that are going on right now.
yeah,
Because he's part of that greatest generation now that,
yeah,
all of our elders that made such a
yes,
difference to where we are and being able to do the things that we're doing here today. And a lot of all the, just the things that we're doing from wearing masks to everybody just being paying attention to what's going on out there so that we make sure that we contain this stuff down to where those guys get to come back to some sort of normalcy. And
yeah.
so that when you think about that makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, they
So
they 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 are they are very it's a unique and very historic generation that they're not too many of them left. They're starting to go by the wayside, and
yeah,
it's an amazing thing to be able to. You and I, we grew up with those parents, who
yeah,
instilled a
yeah.
certain way of thinking and a way of acting. I think in a lot of ways. So,
Yeah, well, your dad made it a few years past what my dad made it, man. I'm just
yeah,
thinking here, but your description of him, they sound quite alike. I mean, my father loved people. I mean,
Yeah.
just love people and just a gregarious, happy, just so happy to walk into a room full
Yeah.
of people like that,
Right.
And he was a farmer though,
Yep.
so yeah. But it all comes around. If it wasn't for that, then Daryl Hall and John Oates, Hall and Oates, wouldn't be on tour in
Oh, look at you.
2021 coming up right there, man. I love that poster. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Daryl's sister does a lot of those graphics. She's real talented.
Well, she's
And,
super talented. So she got your door locked up back in the day, but when it comes to now, she's
right.
pretty good at graphics.
No, I forgave her a long time ago. Yeah. Well, we're gonna try to roll it out in 221, and I'm sure you guys are gonna try to get out there too.
Absolutely.
But it's day to day, week to week, and we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah.
We love the fans, and I know the fans want live music, and we're ready to give it to them. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, just a matter of time. Just a
Yeah.
matter of time. That's another album title. I'm gonna write that one down.
Okay.
Just a
Yeah, no,
matter of
no,
time.
no,
I was
we got to write that together, man. We got.
Absolutely. I got another one for you because I was thinking of this one right before we came on. When I was just thinking about all the things that we're going through right now as
Yeah.
a people, it's like something good's got to come out of this. So it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know what it is,
We'll
but
see.
something good's got to come out of this, right? I was listening to some of your tracks, some of your your
Yeah.
new stuff on a Good Road Band album, and
Yeah.
I don't know, and then I'm thinking about the stuff that's going on here right now. So that's two of them that we
Okay.
got to work
Well,
on right there,
I'll be, I'll
right?
be I'll be coming down the street to write this one with you, man.
There you go. There you go. But I do believe it. You can't go through the amount of stuff that everyone's going through. I mean, you and I, we're so lucky. We're so lucky to be sitting here and so lucky to have, been in the way that we are. But man, that's just a lot of people going through tough stuff right now. Why do I sell peanuts? Because support the love of everybody fund so we can feed kids.
Yeah.
Feed kids because it's times like this when everybody can't get out and everybody's not working. Every kids aren't going to school. There's kids out there
Yeah.
that need to be sustained, and
Yeah.
and we need to talk about that and think about things like that. And I think when people, when they see that and they get in the middle of it and they help out with it, then it is a good thing. They realize how much we all just have a power within our communities everywhere to make a little bit of a difference, and a little bit can go a long way.
Yeah, we got to try, man. It's always, it's that old, it's kind of a cliche, but you got to do what you can locally because it affects globally the world, and we can all do a little bit, in our right, in our neighborhood, right in our town.
Yeah, yeah. You did. You gave a you auctioned off one of your cars here not long ago. You're
Yeah,
trying to do some good like that, right? And
yeah.
then ended up like you got rid of one, and then you ended up finding one.
Oh man, Well, yeah, I'm a bit of a gearhead.
Yeah,
I'm a proud gearhead. But
there's the two of
yeah,
us.
what happened was I used to race cars back in the day, and I kind of I found an old car which was exactly like the car I used to race back in the '80s, and I went and bought it. It was kind of one of those things where I probably shouldn't have. And Amy didn't want me to race and all that stuff, and of course I'm past that now. And so we said. We said, you know what, we got this car. Let's do something good. And we're involved with this Amelia Island concourse. It's a car show that happens every spring in Amelia Island, Florida. Great people, and it had all the proceeds go to Spina Bifida of Jacksonville and a lot of
Yep.
other great charities. And we said, let's just donate this car and we'll do something good and we'll donate the money to Spina Bifida. And it was great because it raised a lot of money. And just when we decided to do that, Amy went on Instagram and she, because I'm always looking at cars, you know how it is on the web, right? And we're scrolling through things and I see this white car and I went, that looks like my old car from the '80s, a different car, like a normal, car. And I went, that's my old car. And it was being advertised as John Oates Special Wishes car from 1984 that I had bought in 1984. And
Whoa.
I went, okay, it's on an auction. We got to get this car. So, and it just so happened that when I first met Amy, my wife, we dated in that car. So we ended up winning it on the auction, and now we got that car. So we got rid of one for a good cause, and we found another one. So
That had even more
that's
intimate
right.
history,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Wow.
pretty
That's
crazy.
uh, that's
What, Kenny,
crazy
I'm
good when it works out like that.
Kenny, I'm very impressed. You're doing your homework, man.
Oh,
You're on this thing.
there was another one, a comment I read that you were talking about, like your only regret, and I don't necessarily see this as a regret, but was like some of the styling from the years, early years. And I gotta say to you, man, I'm sitting here just so inspired at that. I know that I'm calling you Mr. Oates, sir, because you are got a couple years on me, but you seem like you're still the guy that was out there making music in Philly back in the day. Although Although the look could have been
Oh,
just a little bit different. But I'm gonna tell you, dude, that is studly. That works right now. I want you to know that. That works right now. This is some that 77, man. That is like you were the hip, the rebel, the cool. That's badass. I mean,
well,
completely. Hey, and any way you make it to the cover of the Rolling Stone, brother, that's good. Any way you do it,
I'm
right?
just so you know, man. I'm standing on a box. So
You're a giant. You're a giant. Man,
uh,
that's just some crazy stuff to think about, that kind of history, that many years that you've been
yeah,
doing it, and that y'all been doing it, and that I was just showing that you're still going out on tour. You're still just out there blowing it up. You're doing the Hall and Oates stuff. You're doing the
yeah.
John Oates stuff. You just stay completely rocking the music out there year round. And then I see you we run into each other here in Nashville, and you're working on more projects. That's inspiring, man. I got to tell you, thank you.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you saying that. I do. I mean, I do. I am a bit of a workaholic, but I love what I do. We love what we do. It's music. It keeps you young, man. It keeps you alive. And I look forward to going to the studio, and getting together with these incredible musicians and just seeing what happens. It's magic. It's like making magic. It's
Yeah.
incredible. You know.
That's what music
Yeah.
really is. I mean, every time I try to describe to people when they talk about writing songs, like how do you write songs, I really describe it as magic. I
Yeah.
mean, the craziest ideas, like those two ideas that just
That's
popped
right.
with us here tonight, is like if you just got some antenna up,
Yeah.
just all of a sudden there'll just be some kind of magic that shows up, and if you can just catch it, you catch it. The toughest ones are the ones that hit me in the middle of the night. Because I know if I can make myself get up out of this moment and then and put it down, I'll have it tomorrow. But if not, I might wake up and it be one of them dreams I forgot. So
That's Yeah, I agree, man. It's one of those things, when I think the difference between songwriters and other people is that songwriters can hear something that might seem very insignificant, but something clicks, and you take that little idea and try to make it something universal that everyone else can relate to. And that's where the magic is. I'm proud to be a songwriter and be around a whole city full of songwriters here in this town.
yeah, yeah. This place, I'd never seen nothing like it when I got here. I got to be
No.
honest. There just wasn't you know anything like this going on back in Culpeper, Virginia, now where I came from, this little farm community, which has grown now, and there are some great talents back there and
Sure,
stuff, but
sure.
it's just totally different
Yeah.
when you come to a place where everyone that comes there, it seems like, has gathered to um, celebrate music and make music.
Well, I mean, another thing about the Nashville is above and beyond the musicians and the songwriters, everybody who works in their various aspects of the music business is good at what they do. The studios, the engineers, the assistant engineers that come out of Belmont University, the guys who fix guitars, the guys who fix amps, the
Yeah,
guys who put your gear in a truck and take it somewhere. They're all on top of their game.
yeah,
And that's what I love about this town. I have a great respect for professionalism. I really do. I really believe, I love when someone acts like a professional and takes what they do seriously and loves what they do. And there's a whole town full of people like that.
that's right. That's right. And it's because of people acting like that their entire careers that they get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 2014, man. What
Okay.
was that like?
You
What
don't.
was? Give me that one. What's
Kenny,
that feeling? How can you
Kenny,
describe that? I mean,
Kenny, you don't have enough time, man. You don't have enough time. I'm going to just say one thing about that. When you see that TV show that goes on for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, trust me, it takes. We sat at a table from 5 o'clock in the evening till midnight, and we
oh,
didn't go on to get our award till about 11:15. And I
wow.
swear, I thought I was going to faint
So
when I finally got up there. It's a long night, trust me.
it's an endurance
It's
contest.
an endurance contest.
So basically, not only do you spend decades of life to get the opportunity to earn the opportunity to be there, but when you get there for the award that night, you're
Right.
also gonna earn it to get up there on that stage and get it.
You got it. You
Yeah,
got
that's crazy, man.
it. Yeah.
So you've found a new home here in Nashville, which you've been coming through here for years.
Yep.
You got you. I know you love Colorado. I have a lot of love out there in
Yeah.
Colorado too, man. And I
I love
see
the
some of my
mountains.
buddies out there right now. They're putting pictures up and they're climbing up these mountains and got
Oh
these
yeah.
vistas that go on forever. And
Yeah.
boy, I tell you what, being able to having toured this country, you really do just have. I have such a great appreciation for how beautiful it is
Yeah.
from coast to coast. I can see why the songs were written. You know, the sea,
Mhm.
the shining sea, and the amber waves of grain.
Yeah.
I never forget getting out of, when I was able to pull a motorcycle and we're riding out there on tour, and I get out in Kansas and just to go out across these flat fields and it's just beautiful, beautiful. And then, I got to take my boy up on top of one of those 14ers out there in Colorado
You did? You
last
did?
summer,
Wow.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Did you
boy,
guys hike? You guys hiked up?
oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we
Good
did
for
it.
you.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah.
you.
I've
Yeah.
got a handful of them. I'm trying to get a handful more,
I've done
and
a bunch
hopefully,
myself. I've done a bunch myself.
yeah, before I leave this great place, hopefully I'm gonna get all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great climbing those things. You know, you get up top, it's a lot of work, and then you realize you got to walk back down.
I don't know about you, man, but you definitely strain your muscles going up, but coming down, it's a whole different flex on your legs, and it
That's
can actually be more painful
that's
just
right.
going down than it is going up,
Sure,
right?
you got all this anticipation of getting to the peak, man, getting to
Yeah.
the top, and you get to the top, and you're like, yes, and then you go, oh, okay, wait a minute, I got to turn around, and go back down.
We're halfway up this mountain out there last year. It's a 14,500 peak, something like that. Elbert. It was
Mount
Elbert. We
Elbert,
did Elbert. Yeah,
that's the
Elbert.
highest.
We did
That's
Elbert.
the highest mountain in Colorado.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa. So I got me and Lincoln, my 14-year-old, and we climbed up there with, and my agent Greg Oswald, who
yeah,
we've climbed a bunch of them together. So we're going about halfway up there, and all of a sudden there's a fella that's coming back down and got these other two people, kind of walking on one side or the other of him, and as I'm getting closer to him, I look at him and I realize that this man is, well, he's probably about the age of your daddy right now. I mean, he was easily up, pushing in the upper 80s and 90s, and I'm passing him coming down. I had to stop and go, "Sir, this is pretty awesome. You climbing this mountain." He says, "Yeah, I thought I'd do it again. This is my 36th time."
there's some hardcore folks out there in the mountains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you had a tractor out there in the mountains, right? You had a little
Oh
track,
yeah,
you had some
I got
tractor too, because I'm a farm boy, grows up on tractors,
yeah, I got a little John Deere on our little. We had a little ranch out there, and we used to have lots of animals. And when I bought that, when we first got out, my wife comes from a farming family in Illinois. Her dad's a
Yeah.
farmer, and so she wanted to kind of have lots of exotic animals and stuff. We had emus and llamas and alpacas and
Wow,
peacocks and all kinds of stuff.
that's
And
awesome.
when I bought that tractor, it was about 93. I guess I bought it in 93. I didn't really know how much I was going to use it. And I'll tell you what, that was one of the best investments I've ever made. That tractor, that thing just keeps on running. If you want to get a plug to John Deere, I'm going to give it right now because
Yeah, go ahead.
that tractor can sit for 4 months while I'm on tour. I go out to Colorado, I crank that thing over and it starts
It
right up.
goes.
I'm like, man, this is
Well, And
That's a
I'll give a shout out to Steel Chainsaws because that's exactly the way I feel about them. Every time I get home to the farm and I got a tree across the road, or I go down there, it hadn't been months, but that thing will fire up every time. So,
there you go. It's good. So you'll be expecting a new chainsaw, and
and a new tractor.
I won't get a tractor, but I'll get a change of oil or something.
well, well, let's think positively for that tractor anyway. You never know. You never know. So you've got an album that's going to be coming out
Yeah,
here in the next month. Really,
September.
no,
September.
August or September. You said, right?
September. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And you
Well,
recorded it here in Nashville.
yeah. What happened was, I'd made this album called Arkansas about 2 years ago,
Yep.
and put together the band. The band was just awesome. I call it the Good Road Band, and lots of great. We should give a shout out to Guthrie Trapp and Steve Mackey, Josh Day,
Russ Paul.
Russ Paul, and Sam Bush played on the album, and occasionally he plays with us, when we're lucky enough to get him.
Yeah.
And Matt Smith, who plays with Casey Musgraves, also played on the album. And so it was January before any of this stuff happened. And I said, let's get these guys together, see if I can get them together for one show, and we'll record it. So we went back to the Station Inn, which is right downtown in the Gulch.
Yep.
And it was where the band kind of started a couple of years ago. So it was kind of coming full circle. I thought it would be great to have the whole band back, just like, the beginning. And we had a magic night at the Station. Every night's magic at the Station Inn. And recorded it. And David Kalmusky over at Addiction in Berry Hill did an incredible mix on it. So it's a live album. It's John Oates and the Good Road Band live in Nashville. And it comes out September 18th.
September 18th, live in Nashville. John Oates and the Good Road Band, featuring John Oates and lots of Nashville's finest talent live in Nashville.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one. Would there maybe be a song, from, when you think about the Good Road Band? Is there a song that hits you that you might be inspired to play at a time like this?
There could be. Well, I'll tell you what. This is one, Kenny, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but this was an album that I had no idea I was going to make. Now, I'm not talking about the live one, the Arkansas album, which led to the live album. Mm-hmm. I was going to go in and do some Mississippi John Hurt songs because he's one of my childhood heroes, and I got to meet him and see him perform in the 60s when he was rediscovered. And I thought, it'd be really cool to just do some of those. So I went in there and did it. I recorded a couple things on acoustic guitar, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I can do it, but what's the point, right? And I said, I wonder what these songs would sound like if I played them with a band. So I assembled this band, and from the very first song we cut, my engineer turned to me and said, man, I don't know what this is, but just keep doing it because it's cool. And that's how the whole project started. So I'll do Mississippi John Hurt songs. Actually, this is the first track that we cut. It's his version of Staggered Lee, Stacko Lee. Police officer now, how can that be? Can arrest everybody, but you're afraid of Stagger Lee. He's a bad man, cool old Stagger Lee. Billy the Lion told Stagger Lee, now please don't take my life. I got 3 children and darling, lovely wife. You bad man, cool old Stagger Lee. I don't care about your children. I don't care about your wife. No, you done stole my Stetson hat. Now I'm gonna take your life. I'm a bad man. Ooh. Said boom, 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 went that 44. Stagger Lee shot Billy the Lion down upon the barroom floor. Now he's a bad man, cool old Stagger Lee. Oh, well, the judge said to the jury, hey boys, what you gonna think of that? Staggerly shot Billy the line about a $5 Stetson hat. He's a bad man, cruel old Staggerly. I said, up on a gallows, Staggerly did fuss and cuss. Judge said, boys, you better hang him now before he kills the rest of us. He's a bad man, cruel old Staggerly. He's a bad man, cruel old Staggerly.
Yeah, yeah. Stagger Lee. Yeah, yeah. So you would go see this fella
Yeah.
back in your early years.
Oh, yeah.
Were
He
you
was.
old enough to get into a place like that then?
Yeah, I was high school. I was in high school. Absolutely. Well, those coffee houses didn't serve liquor or anything, so they were open to everybody. I saw all the Sun House, Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee, Mississippi John, Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell, all of those ones. So, and a lot of the Gene Ritchie, some of the real early primitive folk, Doc and Merle Watson. So
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of my sweet spot. That and R&B. And then I'd go up to the Uptown Theater up in on North Broad Street in Philly and see Sam and Dave and the Temptations and Otis Redding. And man, it could not have been a better place to be all at the same time. It was just, I've got very lucky. I was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. So let's take all of this, the right place, the right time, and decades of experience.
Yeah.
And there's a question most anybody that does what we do, they'll ask you too, is like, what would you tell people who want to have a career in music in some way, in creativity some way? What are those things that you tell them to inspire them based on your
Well,
experience?
I think you probably know what I'm going to say because, in some ways, nothing's changed. And in some ways, everything's changed.
Yeah.
So, when you look at the modern world of recording and the music business and the internet and the good thing is that anybody can make music and anybody can put it out there. The bad thing is that anybody can make music and put it out there. So, you've got all this music. When I was starting out, music was so special. There was just not that much of it. And, every time somebody made a record, the whole world focused on it because it was something special and it was a moment. And you wanted to know what the artist was saying and thinking and doing and what kind of sound they were going to come up with. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, you have this music just everywhere, right? But in the end, to me, without getting too philosophical, I think the same basic principles. If you're a young musician, listen to the people you like, try to emulate the people that you respect, try to learn from them, try to see what it is that they do. What is it that they do that gets to you, that turns you on, and see if you can copy it and learn it. Because if you can copy it and learn it, it's a key to what they're doing and what they're thinking about. And maybe that opens another key to something that you can create, something original that you can bring forth from
Yeah.
that experience.
Yeah. 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 That that reminds me of the song that I wrote
Come
back in
on, man.
2002.
Come on.
That was I'm gonna play you one.
Yeah,
I've
go
never
ahead, do
played
it.
this for you,
Go
and
ahead.
this is like one of my. It's a so I wrote this in 2002. I was in between record deals. It's
All
fun
right.
to tell you a story like this. I'm out and in between record deals. For those that don't know, that's called being a broke musician. If you know record deals, that's being a broke musician. So I was still at that place where I had a mattress in an apartment. I had four plates, four forks, plenty, everything a man could need. One pot, one
Yeah.
frying pan, a couch. That was just everything a man could need. But in between record deals, so I was feeling like I could do something, but I still didn't know where it was yet. And at that point, my manager he was doing the first show of the Alabama Farewell Tour, 2002. Now Alabama is still touring today, right? But this was their first
Yeah.
farewell tour, and I'm out there. He had said, if you get out, I'd love for you to come out and see this, and if you can get out, you've got an airplane ticket. I got a place for you to stay. And so anyway, I went out there. A couple $100 to my name, and I get out there, and being in Vegas for a couple days, you're gonna blow through that just to eat breakfast, get one meal a day basically, and So we were celebrating the New Year's Eve night, and I had gone to the big celebration and everything. I'd seen all this, but now I'm realizing I'm going to have to be coming back to Nashville and paying my bills, and I didn't have nothing like enough left to make rent or anything like that. And so I did what any of us would do, and I went down to a blackjack table, and I took what money I did have, and I see if I could multiply it. I needed to multiply it about 20 times, and lo and behold, I'd done really good actually. I'd taken like $50 and gotten it up to 800, and I'd won 10 hands in a row. So if I could just double it one more time, man, this is gonna be it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be coming back when everything's fine. That reminds me of another story when I did the Smarter Than Fifth Graders show, and this one turned out about the same way. But I got to that last one, I'm going to roll it one more time, and the dealer flips over a blackjack.
Oh,
So I had a $20 chip and a $1 chip. I took the $20 chip and I handed it to her, and I told her, "Thank you so much. I had a blast, but it's 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to have to be getting back up to my room because I got a flight to catch real early." And I had a $1 chip, and I said, "I'm going to keep this one because I might need a little something to start over with." Pushed myself away from the table, and I went up to my room. I sat down on the edge of the bed and went to pull my boots off. And as I pulled my boot off, the heel come right off the bottom of my boot. And then I laid back on the bed and I looked straight up and I went, "What next, Lord?" And this hit me,
mm,
and it became a hit. But Tim McGraw made it a hit,
there you go.
and it did a lot of good. It did a lot of good in a lot of places. But well, I'm down to my last dollar. I walked right through my shoes. Friendly small reminder of all the hell that I've gone through. But look at me still smiling, cause I'm wondering what I'll do. Since I ain't got nothing, I got nothing to lose. And everybody say ha 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 ha. Come on, say ha 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 ha. Everybody say ha 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 ha. Woo-hoo. Ha 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 ha. Well, my friends are always giving me watches, hats, and wine. That's how I know this theory. Yes, that's how I know it's time. That I don't have to worry about the things I don't have. So when I ain't got nothing, I got nothing to hold me back. And 1, 2, 3, like a bird I sing. Cause you've given me the most beautiful set of wings. And I'm so glad you're all here today. Cause tomorrow I might have to go and fly away. Fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away. Well, there's nothing that's worth keeping me from the places I should go. From Happyville to Loverland, old Kitty gonna tour from coast to coast. But I'm leaving everything behind. There's not much that I need. So when I ain't got nothing, I'm footloose and fancy free. And 1, 2, 3, like a bird I sing. Cause you've given me the most beautiful set of wings. And I'm so glad you're all here today. Cause tomorrow I might have to go and fly away. Fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away. Oh, look at me, so free. No, nothing's holding me down. Oh, look at me, so free. Can't keep my feet on the ground. And 1, 2, 3, like a bird I sing. Cause you've given me the most beautiful set of wings. And I'm so glad you're all here today. Cause tomorrow I might have to go. 1, 2, 3, like a bird I sing. Cause you've given me the most beautiful set of wings. And we're all here today, 'cause tomorrow I might have to go and fly away, 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 fly away. Now I'll go back to some of that early stuff I was talking about. My mama had me in there singing in the church. She go, say, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away, fly away. Yeah.
You can't hear them, Kenny, but they're all clapping out there, man.
They're all clapping. That's the crazy thing.
All
That's the
around
only
the
thing
world.
that you don't
All around
get.
the world.
All around the world. All around the world. They're clapping. They're clapping. They're clapping. Thank you all so much. Thank you all around the world for clapping and clapping and clapping. Hey, you want to play us one more song, man? I mean, is there's another one you want to pop out just to keep it a little musical? Since all around the world they're clapping. I know I've been sitting here just clapping.
Sure.
Listen, you play it so awesome to be up here and be a fan. And you know, that's the only thing we kind of don't get in doing it like this, though, is you don't get to hear that roar. But but you can imagine it, right? You know it. And I can tell the roar from all these people leaving comments from everywhere all around the world, John. This is crazy.
People digging it?
Yeah, they're digging it, and they're from everywhere.
Oh,
And just, you know, the people that were clapping, excited about, you know, you having a new album coming out, just excited to
yes.
hear.
Now I can see. I can see some of them
claps
coming up now.
everywhere. Hello from Indonesia. Hello from Indonesia.
Wow, unbelievable!
They're from
Indonesia,
all over the
amazing,
place.
amazing,
Yeah,
amazing.
that's just nuts. Yeah.
So good.
And then all across the U.S., North Carolina, North Dakota, just clap, 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 happy, happy, happy. So, man, I so appreciate you
listen, man.
joining me on this, John. I mean, it's nice to be able to take a moment in the midst of how crazy everything is going on in the world, and just try to bring a little peace and love and a happy hour and joy to bring a little joy, man. So
Well,
I
you
just
know
really
what?
appreciate you taking the time and doing it.
And thank you for inviting me. And anytime, man. We're not that far apart, so we'll have to do this more often.
We got some song ideas.
Should I do one more then? You sure?
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's hear it. We'd love it. How about it, y'all? Ready? Get some noise for Brother John Oates. Yeah.
Well, I'll do the song Arkansas because it was the song that an original on that album. And when I first got that band together, the Good Road Band, we did a little show in Wilson, Arkansas, right outside of Memphis. And it was, Highway 61, the Blues Highway runs through the middle of the town, the Mississippi River. And it just seemed to me like this American music experience just all kind of came down in this one place. And so I wrote the song. There's a faded glow along the great river road in a worn down farmhouse hanging on the broke down porch, looking over miles in my house, in my house. Walk along the levee silhouetted by a crescent moon. When the sun starts rising, hitting 90 before the clock strikes noon. Don't you know days and nights, dreams drift slowly by. Another day to the dawn brings hope worth waiting on. Where that old man river flows, past the snow white cotton fields of Arkansas. There's a long black train running on the southbound track. Hear that distant whistle blowing when it calls you back to that hard-hit heartland along the muddy shore, where that old man will flow. This slow white cotton fields of Arkansas, yeah. Yeah. Said a hope worth waiting for. Another Delta dawn. Say the folks round here been hoping for. Watch that old man Luther flow. Watch his old man Luther flow. That snow white cotton fields of Arkansas, yeah. All right. Watch that old man flow. That snow white cotton fields of Arkansas, yeah. Watch that old man flow. That snow white cotton fields of Arkansas, yeah. Watch that old man river flow. That snow white cotton fields of Arkansas.
Arkansas. That's Arkansas Brothers and Sisters by John Oates. Also of, cover of Rolling Stone. All Oates. Yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure you check out John's new album, Live from Nashville, coming out September 18th. And make sure you stay on the tour, the Hall & Oates tour that'll be coming up here
Absolutely.
in 2021. Peace, love, and happy hour. Thank you, everyone out there. Thank y'all so much. I mean, I cannot believe Peru. We've so
Peru.
from Indiana to Peru. I see those two side by side, and I'm going, wow, crazy.
All
And
around the world.
I see my fifth grade teacher on here, Miss Patty, step back with Operation Heartfelt. That's an organization we help down there in Florida also to feeding kids, make sure, backpack programs. Make sure all these kids out there. These are really trying times out there in communities everywhere, folks. So just if you can do anything, help anything, just be conscientious of what's going on in your communities. And I think we can all agree that every child ought to have something to eat. Every child ought to have something to eat, no matter what. So we just, especially in times like this, want to know that there's a couple guys out there that get that fighting spirit, when it comes to making sure things are taken care of. That's just a picture that I got this from John, brought this by for me for Christmas. This was us, the BMI Awards. So it's sitting back here right here on the pub.
I love your wife in the background. She's just sitting there.
She's just smiling. She's just so happy. Like, yeah.
That's great.
Well, it's just, Well, we count our blessings, man. I count the blessings that you're here with me tonight, John, and really just thoroughly enjoyed it. And thank you to everyone out there, all these people everywhere. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another Peace, Love, and Happy Hour. And I guess we may have to do this again, brother. We got to pull out something, or you want to get one going on, I'll be glad to hop on it, and we can go through a similar sort of a thing. And it's a happy hour for me. I'm very happy.
And it's same with me. I would love to do it again, man. We both got plenty of songs, man.
There you go. Well, I love you, brother. And thank you so much for being here. And thank you all out there across the universe and the webiverse. We all want to free fall into the disco ball, standing together at the vortex of the center of the universe. This universe. So happy to have you all here. Let's do it again sometime soon. See you again on a Saturday night here at Big Kenny. Peace, love, and happy hour. Thank you, John. Y'all have a great time tonight, everybody. Love you big time. Peace. Love y'all. Ah, mwah, mwah, mwah. All right. Give me some music. Time to kick back. A beverage and a perfect snack. Deliciously crunchy, gourmet, hand-cooked peace, love, and happy hour. Premium Virginia peanuts. Get them in sea salt, unsalted, jalapeno, fiery chipotle, and chili lime. I'm talking a good time. Start your own stack. Grab a 3-pack. Peace, love, and happyhour.com.